I invest into funds on Vanguard. Vanguard is not a zero commission platform, and you can invest into funds on other platforms that don't charge any fees, such as Etoro, Trading 212 or Free Trade. So why did I choose to invest into funds and ETFs on Vanguard? There are several reasons to that, and if you want to know my reasoning behind that, and if you want to understand advantages and disadvantages of investing into funds on each one of these platforms, then please keep watching this video. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anastasia. On this channel I talk about investing and especially investing for beginners. In this video I am going to be comparing investing into ETFs on Vanguard and on Etoro, but I'm also going to mention some other platforms such as Trading 212 and Free Trade. Some of the information that I'm going to give you here is relevant only for the UK residents, so if you are from another country you still can watch this video and it will still make sense to you, but some of my reasons may not be applicable for your country, so you have to make your own research. So let's start. So I was asked this question a couple of times in the comments below my other videos. People don't understand why I invest into funds, into ETFs on Vanguard when I can do the same on Etoro, for example. And I use both platforms, but I don't invest into ETFs on Etoro at all. And there is no one exact answer to this question, because there are advantages and disadvantages of investing into ETFs on both platforms. So let's start from the very beginning. Well, first of all, you have to understand the difference between an ETF and an index, because indexes are actually not available on Vanguard, but they are available on Etoro. ETF is basically a fund that tracks the performance of an index, and S&P 500 is an index, so there is no real difference in performance, because by investing your money into an index fund or an ETF, you basically invest your money into exactly the same companies, and the proportion of your shares in these companies stays exactly the same. So the reason of why I personally don't invest into indexes on Etoro is because the minimum trade size for indexes on Etoro is $1,000, and I must say that the minimum trade size for an ETF on Etoro is only $10. So if you can invest into ETF and get the same result, I don't see the point in investing into indexes. Right, so now let's concentrate on the reasons of why I invest into funds on Vanguard and not Etoro. Well, the reason number one is that Vanguard allows me to open an ISA account, and this is one of the reasons that is relevant only for the UK residents. ISA account is a tax-efficient account which allows me to invest up to £20,000, and I don't pay any tax on the gains that I make from these investments. Etoro doesn't give me an option of opening an ISA account, therefore if I were to make any money from my ETFs on Etoro, I'd have to pay some tax. The second reason is the currency. Since I live in the UK, I also earn my money in the British pounds. It makes sense for me to invest in pounds. Of course, I hold an Etoro account where I invest in dollars, but I think it's a good idea to diversify not just the assets that I invest in, but also the currency, and therefore I don't think it's a bad idea to have two portfolios in two different currencies. Vanguard is in pounds and Etoro is in the US dollars. The third reason that you have to understand is the fees. Vanguard charges fees and is very open about the fees that they charge. So Vanguard doesn't say anywhere that it's a zero commission platform. So you know that you pay 0.15% of the management fee, plus you pay your fund fee, and this second fee depends on the fund that you invest in. Etoro, on the other hand, says that it's a zero commission platform. So from the first site you might think that you don't pay any fees whatsoever, but it's not exactly the case, and it's not like Etoro is trying to hide the information about the fees. They're also very open about the fees that they charge, but they are marketing themselves as a zero commission platform, which I think is misleading for some clients. So with Etoro you do actually pay the spread fee, the conversion fee and the withdrawal fee. So these three fees will definitely be included if you are trying to invest into anything on Etoro, including ETFs. Comparing these three types of fees with Vanguard fees, we can understand that actually Vanguard fees are not that bad, depending of course on how much money you have invested there, because Vanguard fees are in percentages, so they solely depend on how much money you have in your portfolio. But Vanguard withdrawals are free, whilst Etoro charges $5 for every withdrawal, which you can avoid by investing a larger sum of money and becoming a member of one of Etoro clubs. I earn my money in pounds, therefore I don't have to pay any conversion fee by investing into ETFs on Vanguard because it's in pounds. But if I wanted to invest this same money into ETFs through Etoro, I'd have to pay the conversion fee, which, as I've already said, doesn't make any sense. So in terms of the management fee, that's true. Etoro doesn't charge any fees, whilst Vanguard is charging 0.15% management fee. But if you add the other fees that Etoro charges, there is not much difference at all. Right, the next reason is quite subjective, and for me it's the safety and stability of the platform. Vanguard is the most stable and the safest place for me to invest my money in. And even though both platforms, Vanguard and Etoro, are FCA regulated, which means that our investments are safe for up to £80,000, so if something was to happen to both companies and they go bankrupt, we get £80,000 back guaranteed from each company. The question is, how long will it take for us to get our money back? And even though Etoro does look pretty safe to me, I still trust Vanguard more just because Vanguard has this extra history. We can look at historical graphs of Vanguard. We know how much money they have under management, and there are not many brokers that can compare to Vanguard, if any. Etoro definitely cannot be compared to Vanguard in my head in regards to safety and stability. So in that sense, for me, for Vanguard, there are no other competitors on the UK market. And the last reason for me, which I think a lot of people don't understand, is the fact that if you want to invest into ETFs on Etoro, you are actually not investing into funds, but you are buying CFDs. If you don't know what a CFD is, I have a separate video about it, but you've got to understand that you are not buying funds. You are betting on the price of the funds, but you don't own anything. With Vanguard, the situation is different. You are actually buying funds, so you become the holder, the official holder of the shares. With Etoro, you don't own anything. In regards to money and the profits that you make, there is absolutely no difference whatsoever, but psychologically, I still find it easier to invest into real funds. There are some advantages of investing into ETFs on Etoro. One of them is if you want to trade your ETFs, then definitely Etoro is a better place because you know the exact price for which you are buying your fund, which is not the case with Vanguard. If you want to pay the live price of ETF on Vanguard, you have to pay a fee. Otherwise, you have to wait for Vanguard to buy your ETF, which it does at a certain time of the day, or sometimes not even every day. Therefore, you don't know the exact price that you are going to buy your ETF for, which makes trading impossible through Vanguard. The next reason of why someone would want to invest into ETFs on Etoro and not Vanguard, since you are buying CFDs, it also means that you can short your positions. So without buying them, you can sell them straight away. So if you think that S&P 500 is going to fall in price and you want to make money on it, you wouldn't be able to make money on it without buying the shares first on Vanguard, but you can make profits by selling your shares before buying them, if that makes sense, through Etoro. On Vanguard, you can choose from over 70 different funds. And for a beginner investor, and in general for an average investor, I guess this is more than enough, because how many funds do you really need? On Etoro, there are some less popular funds and ETFs that you can find. And even if you think about the one decision funds available on Vanguard, such as pension funds or life strategy funds, where you choose one fund, but there are many little retail funds included into one big fund that you buy. On Etoro, there is a similar product which is called a sector ETF portfolio, which you can start copying, and it's sort of the same. It also gets rebalanced automatically for you. So the one decision funds on Vanguard cannot be called the only advantage of this platform, even though for me they make more sense because you can invest not only into ETFs but also into bonds, whilst the ETF copy portfolio option on Etoro is very similar to a life strategy fund on Vanguard with 100% equity in it. For me personally, the choice of ETFs on Vanguard is more than enough. And of course, I could invest into ETFs on free trade or on Trading 212. But the problem is, if I were to open ISA account on free trade, I'd have to pay £3 per month for holding this ISA there. And I actually have a separate video of my reasoning behind closing my ISA account on free trade. You can watch this video here. As for Trading 212, it is free, everything is free. You can invest into pounds, you can open an ISA, it's all free. But the safety aspect of Trading 212 is not satisfying for me. I also have a separate video where I explain why I closed my account on Trading 212, and if you want to watch that video, you can also watch it here. I don't hold an ISA account on Trading 212 or any other account for that matter. I've completely withdrawn all my funds from this platform. Okay guys, let me know your thoughts. Does it make sense to you? Which company do you use? And thank you so much for watching me today. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.